All right, what is going on, guys? It is time. The Dakar Rally 2025 is getting set to kick off January 3rd. Going to be 12 stages of excitement, but what are we even talking about, the Dakar Rally? So in the world of motorsport, few events capture the spirit of the Dakar, of what this thing actually is. So it all started back in 1977 when French motorcycle racer Thierry Sabine got lost. On his way to Nice, was doing a race through the Libyan desert and actually ended up getting lost. And in the desert out there in the Sahara, he saw, there's so much out here, so much of a challenge that can be done. And so just 2 short years later, the Dakar Rally ran its first iteration from Paris to Dakar, Senegal, covering 10,000 kilometers. So 6,200 miles roughly. So very, very, very long distance for racers. That was on the first one. Quickly, it did earn a reputation for being the absolute monster of an event that it still is today in 2024, and now it's new generation 2025. So there have been challenges over the years, obviously, moving from what originally was at Paris to Dakar, Senegal course, now occupied mostly by the Africa Eco Race, but now moving out of South America, which housed the event for many, many years, and now going to Saudi Arabia since 2020. And the race has been kind of back to its origins, right? So now sand dunes, epic sand dunes, the quarter, and then with them introducing many, many new challenges to the riders, including the 48-hour chrono stage. So let's talk a little bit about stages so you guys know what we're talking about as we do this coverage. Again, we are partnering with West by 1000 to help bring us some of the content daily, get you guys some more information, some shots, some videos, some interviews and stuff like that from the teams that are there on the ground. So let's talk Dakar Rally. Let's talk what makes up a day. So first part of the day is going to be a liaison. You're going to hear that word a lot. So in rally racing, it's not just about the actual green and checkered flag. You have a liaison in there, and that can be thought of as the commute to work, right? Before you put in the work on your timed stage, you're going to have to go through a liaison. That liaison or commute is comprised of short kilometers, lots of kilometers. It just varies depending on where they need to start and place the starting line for the day's stage. So there are rules, there are speed limits, there are waypoints, there are things that have to be done. And in the game of rally, all of the waypoints count. So once you get out of that and you get to your checkered flag, you're going to have, or excuse me, your green flag, you're going to get started. You have your time stage. There could be a neutralization in there. A neutralization is usually where teams are stopped. The chrono, the time is stopped, and then they're refueling, they're doing something, and then from there, the time starts again. So there's rules to that, leaving early, leaving late, that kind of thing. Once you get to the finish line, you may have another liaison after that to get back to the bivouac or campground or pits, as depending on what type of racing you do. Then you arrive, you're gonna be headed out to your dinners, your team meetings, your things, your physio, your all sorts of stuff. The Dakar is an entire city that moves across the different stages. Speaking of stages, we got a few different ones going on this time around. So that's how a stage is comprised: liaison, time section or selective section, special stage, that kind of thing, liaison, finish line, bivouac. But let's talk about stages. You have your straight up rally stages as just described, but to make it a little bit more spicy, the newcomer to the bunch is going to be the 48-hour chrono stage. So roughly explained, 48 hours with several different camps across that stage. So you race from basically sunup to sundown or dusk. You're to stop at that campground at dusk. So that means that you could have different riders at different parts along that stage, depending on how well they did that day, depending on their speed, how familiar they are with terrains and riding dunes and riding different things. Some will get ahead of others. So they did that to avoid the competitors from bunching together at, say, like a marathon stage. Speaking of marathon stage, we do have a marathon stage that's going to follow up the chrono stage. So you get 48 hours. You got 5, 6, 7 different bivouacs or different campgrounds. No support. You stop, you stay, and then the next day you continue towards the end of the stage. So you got 48 hours long that's going to happen. They're going to follow that up with a marathon stage. So marathon stage, very, very simple. Marathon means you're going to go out, race to a certain location. There will be no pits, no teams, nobody there to catch you. You're on your own to make it happen. Work on your bike, do your things, and then turn around and race back to your team. So, or race to your team. So depending on which direction the course is going. So that makes it very, very challenging for competitors. There's been a lot of stuff that happens out in these races, that happens out there, that they're trying to keep the teams from communicating, from doing what they call the Dakar swing, and trying to, I would say, is trying to, in a way, manipulate the times and the results and everything to get a better starting position for the next day. So people like Mason Klein, who enjoy opening a stage, is not as big a deal to them. But then you've got the Dakar veterans and multi-time winner Ricky Brabeck, who's no stranger to the strategy and knows what it takes to get to the top spot on the podium. Skylar Howe's coming back on the Honda team as well. Pablo Quintanilla sticking with that one. The change with Nacho Cornejo going to the Hero Motorsports team. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Our very own Willem Avenant going to be racing the Dakar, his lifelong dream and bucket list item. He's going to do it this year, 2025 Dakar. So if you guys haven't been keeping up with him on the Decoding Dakar side of thing, or Willem Avenant Racing, you definitely want to see it. That's the everyday story. That's the you and I putting our heads to something and absolutely just trying to make it happen. So we got a lot coming up this year with the Dakar Rally in 2025. January 3rd, it starts. You're going to have 12 stages. David Costera, the general director of the rally, has said it won't be easy. They're bringing back the mass start at the end in the empty quarter, finishing in the empty quarter. It is going to be an amazing event this time around, and I think that it will definitely bring some excitement. I'm curious to see. You know, will Ricky Brabeck bring trophy number 3 back to the U.S.? Skylar Howes, will he be out there? Mason Klein, he's been primed. He knows how to lead a stage. He knows how to open a stage. You know, I think there's a lot of potential there. So he's aboard the Cove on the newest iteration of the 450 Rally, which just finished winning the Baja 1000 in the hands of Mike Johnson and the team. So it is very, very interesting to see how they're going to span this out and how this could go, because it's a lot of kilometers. But anyway, with that being said, guys, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, stay tuned to the channel. We've got a lot coming. We got 2 episodes a day at least that are going to be your results show bright and early in the morning as these guys race overnight. And before they get started every evening, we're going to be doing the stage preview, so you guys know what these guys are signing up for and what they're going to be doing for the day. So don't forget, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Remember, 2 episodes coming daily, and this is where we're going to be. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys.